won't stop. And good Monday morning, Taylor.
Hello, happy Monday.
And this is Happy Mondays was a band.
Happy Mondays was a band.
Yeah, what was their song? But anyway, This is the Chip Matthews Show. It is Monday. Taylor Turcotte in the studio with me, of course. And of course, we fight every day for you to do the right thing. And I mean, and when we put our money where our mouth is, we put our butts on the line and run for office. I'm, of course, running for Mayor Canton. You're running for...
I'm running for City Council, Ward 7 in Jackson.
So she's running for a life in Jackson?
Running for my life. Yeah. Kind of.
But I'm sitting here and I was watching people saying, I will never, ever, ever vote for Michael Guest again for siding with Benny Thompson on different stuff. This is something that was on...
at the mayoral forum?
No, this is something on Facebook where they're talking about, and it's was put up by Mississippi Today.
Oh,
okay. And it was I hadn't read the article,
right?
But I'm seeing everybody underneath it comment about it. But I go, it doesn't matter what and this could happen to the Republican Party if they're not thinking. But if you have candidates that people are not liking, like Roger Wicker and other people, then what's going to happen is sooner or later, people are going to be fed up and they're going to vote for the Democrat just because we didn't put up another Republican to run. Do you see what I'm saying? We're getting in a trap.
Yeah.
If the Republican leadership is going and is not conservative,
right,
then why not vote for the Democrat?
Well,
and if the Democrat sounds like he's a better choice, right? I mean, this whole thing could reverse on us so quick.
Right. But you're talking to somebody who has to vote Democrat a lot because I live in Hinds County.
And I'm in Canton.
So I'm accustomed to voting for Democrats and supporting Democrats.
And see, I'm not being primaried in Canton. So
right.
I'm running for, I won't be on the ballot to the general. So
I'm the same
somebody
way.
said, Chip, are you going to go vote for your alderman?
Yeah. I was actually asked, someone asked me on the Democratic, one of the mayors asked me if I would vote for him.
Well, let me explain.
Could I have your vote since you don't have a primary? And
let me explain this to you. You can't do it.
No, I told them that I was not going to.
If they know you're a Republican, you cannot cross over. I mean, and that's only in the case of if you're running for office, you've established yourself on a piece of paper saying you're a Republican.
Right.
So you cannot go in and vote.
And vote on the Democratic primary.
I cannot go vote for my alderman, which they said if you just vote for the alderman, that's okay. But, you've got the mayor's race at the top. You can. Yeah. I mean, in my case in Canton, but I'm not allowed to.
But it's all on one ballot, right? So I've got Republicans in that I need to vote for on that if I were. I'm kind of in a weird situation in Jackson because I know all of the Democrat candidates. I've got background, I've got history on them, but I don't even know who the majority of the Republican candidates are.
And
I mean, I've never seen. I have no idea on them, but
it's up to them now and the party to get out and help these Republican candidates
Chip,
be known.
The party does not know who these people are.
Well,
I don't know who they are. We didn't know how to get in contact with them when the clerk wouldn't turn over the paperwork.
Okay. And then beyond that, then
what if we're having some plants put in there? How are we supposed to deal with that now?
I don't know. Why didn't the Republican Party actively making an issue out of this?
Well, they are. I haven't talked to them yet. We've just gotten the paperwork. Spencer just got it. I haven't actually gotten in there to talk to them about it. But as a person as a candidate on this ballot, I mean, I'm kind of stuck in some odd places because, I'm a huge supporter of Kim White and have been.
Yeah, he's an independent.
But
and he'll be on the final ballot.
He will be. But, it's.
And it's not wrong for you to vote for the independent. Well, it's not wrong for you to vote for the Democrat in the general. Your vote is your vote. When you go in that room, Well, we don't do that anymore.
Well,
Long time ago, we used to go in a. I don't know if you did you ever.
I know what you're talking about with the booth. Yeah, you turn around and you pull the lever, and it would close. Ooh.
And the red, white, and blue things would. Curtains would close behind you.
Yep.
We don't do that now. Now they
have
do
little
it
partitions
with little partitions, and they can look right over your shoulder and see what you're doing. I mean, election reform is something we need in Mississippi. Yet they're not talking about fixing the current system.
But does it matter? Does that confidentiality really matter anymore? Because they see your ballot when you stick it in the machine anyway. They're sitting there looking at you, right?
Yeah.
So
you're right.
I mean, I always turn mine upside down and
then I got in an argument, or rather a discussion online with a radio host from another radio station who believes that he is he is the financial czar of the world, according to him. He's got a lot of money to count, so he probably knows something.
Yeah.
But he tried to explain to me, when I said I was explaining that the government is broke. And he goes, the government of Mississippi is not broke. I said, no, that's not what I'm saying. You're broke. The government's supposed to start with nothing. And the only thing they spend is the money the taxpayers give them. Right. He goes, well, we get money from the federal government. Excuse me, Mr. Smart Guy that knows everything in the world. You're getting that money that the federal government gets. Is our money too.
It's all tax money.
You of all people, unless you found every tax loophole to be a millionaire and not know how to pay the taxes, your money is being spent. And you go, well, that means I have more clout. No, you don't. Taxes are paid. Governments stay within their boundaries.
Yeah.
And I was making the comparison like this. If I gave you $100,
right,
said go to the mall,
yep,
get what you want to get.
I'm gonna blow whatever. I'm gonna blow the butt end out of it.
Okay, that's what the government would do.
Exactly.
But if you brought me back change, why wouldn't you distribute it back? It goes back into my pocket. Does that make sense to you?
Well, unless it goes into if you hand me $100 and tell me to go shopping, I'm taking the $100, whether I spend it on clothes or shopping or what.
But if you gave a kid $100 and they went to the store and they came back and they gave you back change.
Point being is you tend to blow other people's money,
right?
And the government's not spending their own.
And I mean, in the honesty of a kid giving you back change out of 100, you should reward him. And you go, thank you. Yeah. You say, thank you.
I have a different attitude. Give me back my money.
But now you have money. And so he says that it'll put us in a whatever. I said, well, coming out of these.
And see,
coming out of COVID, money went out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the federal government said, we're giving out money. And Mississippi wound up making money during COVID.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So he says, yeah, we still got all that money. Well, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to spend it. Well, you're going to, and they're spending it on a rural internet and stuff like that.
Right.
Excuse me.
It's useless.
Whatever we're building now, 5 years from now will not be worth nothing.
And Starlink will be here within a year. I looked it up last night. It's like $600 to get a roaming.
Yeah. I mean, there's too many ways for us to get on the internet traditionally, and the rural area that they're trying to get into,
right?
Madison County.
Well, and see them.
Madison County is listed as a rural area, and of course, those supervisors up there in Madison County are foaming at the bit to spend all that money.
Well,
but
see, the thing is, you're talking them saying, well, it should go to the federal debt. Well, guess what? You're still using my money to pay back money that you spent. You're paying off the country's credit card. Our credit card is what they call it. Well, yeah, it's the United States credit card, but we're not the one who chose to put all that money on the credit card. The government did.
Right. Now my next question is this. They're only wanting to give us 20% of it. So the rest of the money is going toward the debt. And then, of course, the debt. Let's also talk about the debt. The debt, we all know that if the government goes, if I give you $100, you spend it all.
Right.
If I'm a department, you spend it all. But when like Shad White sent money back last year, that means they're going to cut his budget. That's
Right.
why they spend it all, because you're going to cut the budget.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with your budget being cut if you didn't spend the money. And once again, all of you people that get this money, and I'm talking about federal groups, state groups, local groups,
Yep.
It ain't your money.
No.
It's my money. It's her money. It's the rich.
I mean, it's a little bit of their money because they pay taxes as well, but their whole paycheck comes from us in the first
rich
place.
guy radio host
and they
money.
twiddle their thumbs at work.
I mean, come on, people. You're spending our money when you don't. If the budget, the budget is $7 trillion. Well, let's knock it down to $5 trillion.
Yep.
Then we don't have the other $2 trillion to pay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's go look at the gold, reevaluate the gold. What happens if you reevaluate the gold? The gold is figured on $45 an ounce. Gold is currently selling right at $2,900 an ounce.
Oh, don't get me started on gold.
I mean, so my question to you is,
yeah.
if you went back on the gold standard all of a sudden, and what you're valuing at $45 an ounce is really worth $2,900 an ounce.
Right.
All of a sudden, the world owes us, and we don't owe them.
Right. What if there's no gold?
That's another story altogether. That means you back out of there real slow and don't collapse the entire world.
I read there's no gold there. That the Federal Reserve, the business of the Federal Reserve, took the gold a long time ago to that was my phone.
Okay.
Was to guarantee the loan that they made to us after the Civil War to rebuild.
Okay. So
once again.
So there's still Confederate gold somewhere.
No, that Fort Knox is empty.
No, but
Trump's going to Fort Knox, and I think it's going to be empty.
Yeah, and Confederate gold was something different. It was never found.
Right.
It's down there on the coast in Beauvoir.
Is it?
I think so. You can't go digging around down there. Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews Show with Taylor Turcotte on WYAB. Tiptoes. And we're back on a Monday. Foggy out there. Y'all be careful driving.
Be very careful.
I had a guy that was deciding that he needed to pass me on the Natchez Trace. And he pulled out and he got going. And then he got backed up, got back behind me again because the car was about to hit him. And then he comes back and comes and that. Then we get all the way to the exit where I get off on 49 off the Natchez Trace.
Yeah.
And I pulled out. He got behind me. He just stayed behind me.
What? You get in that lane and you floor it and you get around the car quickly.
He had some hate going on.
Oh, he was mad at you?
Oh, yeah.
Chip.
You know, I just drive safely.
Yeah.
Oh, there's people on. Let's see. Good morning, Donna.
Hello.
Okay, we can see some of the people on there, the links and this, that, and the other.
Chip's getting better with the social media cameras.
Tammy, hello. Okay, so this morning, let's get back to what we're talking about: the corrupt government of Mississippi. We're not going to go where you just went.
Okay.
That she wanted, y'all.
That was off. I told you that was complete conspiracy theory. That is not. I don't.
She wants to know why gold is so valuable.
Why is gold? You can't eat it.
Well, you can't eat Bitcoin either.
You can't eat any of it. So how did any of this get worth?
You can eat a dollar bill.
No, you can't.
But you can't get value for it.
I mean, well, a dollar bill kind of. But I mean, what is it?
I mean, it's all made up. All this wealth is made up. It becomes social status. It's how you move up in life or become a politician and steal it all.
Yep.
But you go and get something that's really not worth anything in the realm of the real world, because in reality, it's about the life that you can live.
Yep.
And the things and then you decide you want some of these creature comforts, and then you need the dollars.
Right.
But without the creature comforts, we in Mississippi, we'd have a little garden out back.
Oh yeah. Easily.
We'd run around and do what we're doing.
Garden out back, and I can spit on
we'd have a couple of kids running around the front yard with diapers on and no shirt.
Yeah, no.
At the trailer. And then waiting for Uncle Jed to go out there and shoot something and see something bubbling up through the ground and say, that's black gold, Texas tea. I mean, it's money is stupid.
The more money you have, the more money you want.
Correct.
The more it never stops. It's always so. I mean, I'd rather just be where you are.
But the greed of money that does not exist is in the federal government and in the state government.
Yep.
But the state government, what they have to do every year is they say, we're going to estimate that we're going to bring in this much money this year.
Right.
And off of this money, we're now going to budget this for this and this for this and this for this and this for this.
Right.
And budget it all.
Yep.
But if you have any left over at the end of the year, you need to send it back. No, we've been stealing and taking it home. That's what we've been doing. The government learned that we got to spend it. We got to get it out of here. So you see where Shad White was talking about everybody's using up their credit cards, going to town. Yeah, that's because we're going to pick up the bill. That tab is good. Politicians, listen to me for just a second. It's okay not to spend every dollar. Now, this guy also, the guy I was talking about earlier, the radio host who knows all, sees all, he made a comment. He goes, well, Chip, they got to spend it all. And I said, well, Mississippi's broke. He goes, no, we're not. We got $3 trillion over here. We got an extra $1 trillion here from last year. We got this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to have extra. Government, you're not supposed to have extra. And that's why you give it back to the people.
Exactly.
And then we'll give you more.
Small government.
If you'll give us money back, then we will give you some money when we want to buy something new. So we want to buy, you'll tell us we need more money in roads. Then we will give you a little bit more money to build the road.
Then you collect it when you need it.
Currently, you're getting all the money to build the road and you don't do it. Then we have all these bureaucrat committees that run like the lottery board and the this and the that. And, you know, you got all these bureaucrat committees.
Right.
Because the legislature won't take the time to pass, to write down the laws that they should be enforcing. So you make up these committees, and these committees decide, they start getting smart for themselves and going, well, we got the best deal we could, blah, blah, blah. No, you didn't get the best deal for the people. There's always a better deal. You can always go back. Those lottery commission that's here is making bank. Not the commission. I'm talking about the lottery companies. They're making bank.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. We could go back and ask for a little taste of that back. You know, you made some money. We made some money. I need a little bit of that back.
Renegotiate.
I mean, y'all, it's bad enough that we need a committee to run the lottery. We need, and then there's still, you know, so there's a rumor out there that there's not a lot of money in the gambling world for offsite online betting, you know, like betting on a football game from anywhere.
Yeah. Isn't there a whole lot of interest in that?
Everybody I know, you can't go into like Monday used to be payoff day. Monday was collection day. Tuesday was payoff day at different bars in Jackson on illegal gambling.
Yeah.
And you're going to make it legal. And these people have no idea that market, that sports market is much bigger than what we get coming into the casinos.
Well, and see, I'm not a huge fan of casinos. I don't really like casinos. I would lived on the Gulf Coast when they were bringing in casinos.
But when we get casinos, we're not going to have to pay taxes anymore. Kids will go to school. Everybody will have everything they ever wanted.
All great and good. But on the Gulf Coast, we had a lot of elderly people who started having dementia who were dumping there. You used to go in the casinos when I lived down there, and it was not tourists. It was the locals dumping their money at the casino.
Right. That's what I'm
getting at. My ex-husband did a good bit of it as well.
I was being condescending.
Oh, okay.
I know I said.
Well, I
but
know
what I'm saying is every time we
but,
passed another sin tax,
yep,
we said that would be the one that makes it all rather.
Yeah.
Now Mississippi,
and we end up just hurting our people.
Now Mississippi is proud of the fact that our 4th grade readers went up, right?
Okay. Yeah, okay. Good.
We're number 1.
Excellent.
In America, nationally, we went down 5 points. So if we're on top of a down cycle, we may not be exactly where we should be. Well, we want to tout what we're doing. Maybe it's improved.
Okay.
Maybe we have a 4th grader that can read, but then again, if anybody can read if you got a phone, they're going to learn how to read.
Well,
that's their parent.
Yeah.
The phone is their parent.
Yeah.
If a phone could take its belt off and whoop that butt, we probably wouldn't have murders in the streets.
Yeah.
But that's where you're at.
You see me go glassy-eyed when you start talking about stuff like that, because I think about schools in my ward and what I'm going to have to do there. And I'm having
Mississippi, as bad as we are, we pay more per student in this state than any other state in the union.
Like,
it is the union. Yeah, than the union.
We spend more per capita on students in Mississippi than any other state.
Right. More money goes to each student.
Right.
In this state than any other state.
Yeah.
And it's substantially a lot.
Yeah.
Plus.
And does it bother anybody out there that I was just talking to somebody this weekend at the forum, and he said that he works with younger kids and he has a lot of problems because they're not fed. They're hungry, so they can't really learn at school, because the only time they get fed is when they're at school.
Well, we take care. I just don't believe in Mississippi that kids are starving. It's the fat. We're probably the fattest state in the union.
Well, adults may not be starving.
Feed your kid.
Well,
I mean, we give out money. We give out money for everything.
We do. We give out money for everything.
And we have lines of people that are churches and all them giving out
money.
food.
They care about a meal being sat in front of them to eat. So,
okay. Well, I mean, you can't go home. They'll shoot you.
I'm not. No, you can't go home.
You can't go home. They'll shoot you.
There's the problem. How do we feed them?
You've got to change the culture, and the only way you're going to change the culture is to go in and hold parents responsible. And I mean,
well, let's just say I'm trying to figure out how to.
Well, I've got a plan. I got a plan. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Feeding them.
I got a plan. We'll work this out. We'll get Kim Wade in on it. Get you in on it.
Oh, we've got that teen forum next on Saturday as well.
We'll talk about that.
Yep.
Right here on WYAB.
I have to make an immediate decision on that. That can wait. I told you they were going to tell you that, didn't I?
Yeah. And we are back on a Monday on WYAB. This is Chuck Matthews Show with Taylor Turcotte.
Hello. And happy Monday.
So where were we? We were talking about money.
money,
crooks and criminals. We weren't really talking about the real crooks and criminals. We were talking about the ones that are at the state capitol trying to make laws,
right,
and then kick it down the road. It's like, for instance, pot. They kicked it down the road till the ballot initiative came in. The ballot initiative was fixing to put it on the Constitution just because they wouldn't do their job,
right,
and prove it. And now they're in a situation now where it's been approved and this, that, and the other, and they have to regulate it. And then they said, well, we'll just go back and we'll take, in order to get control of it, we'll get rid of the ballot initiative and have to, and say we did it. Come on, people. That's just like saying Donald Trump got in office. Now we're just going to kick him out because that's a mistake. Jeez, people. Jeez. Okay. So Mississippi has the highest paid state education superintendent. And then in each county, I think we're paying $1 million or plus in Madison County for the Madison County superintendent and the one in Canton.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure the one in Canton is not that smart.
Yep.
I would think. But anyway, let's talk about the real criminals. This past weekend, we had an officer that was shot last night.
Yeah. And you're going to ask for the name, and I've got to go pull that back up again.
But here's the deal. Why doesn't those state lawmakers that are spending our money go down to Hinds County and build them a new jail? We need to build a new giant jail.
Benny's jail?
We need a jail that works.
We need a jail that works. I know it does not work.
And if you went down there, and I mean, cut the crap. They were running out of water in Jackson. We had to go do the water.
Yep.
Okay. We need to build a jail that is huge. It needs to be like, as big as downtown Jackson.
Right.
So that when we put a prisoner, I mean, every weekend you hear that the prisoners got out.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there's nowhere to put them in downtown Jackson. That's why a lot of times they just turn them loose as soon as they catch them.
I'm talking about they get out in Jackson. When they had the Jackson jail, they got out. But in Raymond.
In Raymond.
My sister lives out there, and they're always looking for criminals. I know people that were in jail at one time.
Right.
That I said, I thought you were in jail. Well, I left.
Got out.
Can I get a pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I can get back in.
There were people.
I'm a trustee. I can get back in.
Yeah.
And I say, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I had to go out, go see a girl, blah, blah, blah. They leave the jail.
Yeah. David Archie went down there and broke out of it. He went in and was able to break out. At one point, they didn't have the doors on the jail cells would not close.
I mean, come on, people.
Can you imagine sleeping in a jail cell where somebody come in and murder you in the middle of the night?
So if you're the state government,
well,
why don't you just go build a fortress of a jail?
Well, because Benny Thompson built that jail in the first place in the early 90s. It should be fine now.
Well, do one without minority contracts.
Well, yeah, there we go. One that works.
Well, basically, when you use minority contractors in the Jackson area,
that jail has been failing since it was built.
Hold on, let me finish my thought.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When you use minority contractors,
exactly,
that's like having the prisoners build their own jail.
Exactly.
Their future
probably the convicts could probably do it better.
They are future guests there.
Yeah.
They're not looking to build it right. They're building it to get out.
Two things happened when Benny Thompson left. Immediately when he went into the house from being a supervisor in Hinds County, the jail opened immediately after he left, and the water plant, E.B. Curtis, both of those were done right as he was leaving. Hinds County supervisor. His fingerprints are all over it.
Come on, people. It's not that hard. Keep people in jail where people don't die. Officers should not be getting shot on the streets. It shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't have to be out looking for people.
No.
It shouldn't.
But this was a domestic dispute.
Yes.
It wasn't.
I know, but I'm just saying, I bet you if you look at his past, they ain't got into his past criminal history, but every time you turn around, we find a domestic dispute or this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I've been watching when they're in the news, they say, we're going to come up with a new way to handle domestic disputes. Yes. It's called hold people accountable.
Well,
earlier, and you're going to get rid of this domestic disputes when you have a better culture, when you have a better living condition, when you live in blight. You become a part of it, regardless of if you're. Yeah, I mean, you just can't. You can't live in blight.
You got to change people's hearts, is what I think. I think that we got a whole bunch of people who live in a very dark, black world.
I mean,
and they're mean and they're angry and they're hurtful to everybody around them all the time. And you put two of those kind of people together and they slam into each other, and
when you
it's
look,
a mess for everybody.
I mean, Jackson is like a heart that is black and barely beating.
I
mean, that's what it looks like.
I agree.
And
I agree.
And it's just
when we've had law enforcement come in to talk to Jackson for Jackson, they talk about how so much of their stuff, so many of the shootings in Jackson are actually between people who know each other and are settling disputes.
Right. And I mean, and that's because it's just everywhere and you didn't fix it. And you've taken forever.
People are done.
You're talking about it. You're talking about it, but you're not fixing it. In the state, I don't know what to do. I mean,
well, I just, it's not the state's problem.
It's not the state's responsibility.
People need to start looking into their own hearts and stop being so
but what I'm getting
negative everywhere.
If you and seeing a lot of this has to do with the judges in Jackson.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it as well.
When your judges, but your judges also are handicapped. Let's get rid of the first problem. They have no place to put them.
True.
Number one. Okay.
True.
And then, of course, the state legislature right now, in order to not have to address the criminal problem when somebody breaks the law,
right,
are want to reduce some crimes from felonies to misdemeanors.
Right.
I mean, what the hell, people?
Chaos on the streets.
Hey, look, we're gonna take rape down. We're gonna say, okay, we can have sex at 9. Then that'll get rid of the rapists that are in jail. We'll just go down to 9.
Oh, yeah.
9 is the age of consent.
Drive the people into their homes where they're too scared to be on the street.
I mean, come on.
Solinsky at its best.
I mean, come on. Going backwards. These these are crimes. You're worried about the fentanyl problem and drugs. Oh, we'll just reduce that down to a misdemeanor. And then you're killing law enforcement because they have to go out and arrest these people wherever they go. And that this guy, when he was on the loose, the guy that got, you got a sheriff that got killed while he's looking for a guy out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Okay. It isn't a law enforcement problem. It's the laws that they have to enforce. And if they're going to enforce them, they need to be able to be solid enough to put them in a place where they will stay.
Right.
You hear, and we talk about this, but they talk about all the problems up at Parchman. And we brought in a new guy to take care of that. But the building was falling down. The federal government's on our ass. Why? Why do we worry about it if we're not going to fix it? You're not fixing it. Oh, but my buddy says we have all these trillions of dollars we're going to put into the internet with cabling. Well, we all know that the world's going wireless.
Going to satellites.
Geez. Read a book. Don't write them. I mean, I don't understand why we make it such a problem for something so simple. Okay. Back in the day, you're on the streets. We had justice in the world.
Yep.
If he pulled his gun first, you were allowed to shoot him.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So we decided that wasn't good. So we got rid of that. We don't want people shooting each other in the streets. So that became a crime. Now you got to put them in jail somewhere.
Right.
If you don't have a jail,
right,
you're back to shooting each other on the streets. It's that simple.
It is.
It is that, because you can't, police cannot be everywhere at once. And there's no way to protect yourself. So if you're let's say you and I were in a domestic dispute.
Yeah. Yep.
And you pulled a gun.
Right.
And I got to call the police. And they can't, and they can't respond in time.
No.
I'm going to be dead.
You are.
Right there.
You will.
Well, I will.
And guess what?
You'll be charged.
Do you know how hard it is to get a divorce nowadays? I mean, do we really want to think about maybe that's why? Because people can't get divorced anymore because I think Clay was talking about that coming in, maybe.
The whole lawyer thing is beyond a concept. I mean, if lawyers weren't always trying to work deals with the other, I mean, it's always let's negotiate. Then the judge that's sitting in the chairs going, you boys better get this together because I don't want to have to do this on Tuesday because next Wednesday I'm going fishing. So Let's get all this worked out and get it settled out of court, get something, make them agree to something and get the heck out of here.
Exactly. But it keeps us all tied up in the law is what it does. It keeps us all under the thumb of government and the bureaucracy and everything else that we have to jump through all these hoops just to be who we are.
It's the lazy justice system and lazy lawyers. And I hate saying that out loud.
Lazy?
Lazy.
Is that the adjective you sure that we want to use?
Well, you got
Are they corrupt as well? Is it all about what's good for them and not for the people that are in front of them?
I mean, look at it this way. I mean, we both know the lawyer loses, he gets paid. The lawyer wins, he gets paid.
The judges up there can do whatever they want because they've been enlisted in and they can do whatever they want.
And in some cases,
everyday people are the ones who are stuck and can't do anything about it.
And my lawyer looked at me and said, well, I know this judge. I've known him for years. He's super conservative. He ain't going to give you any more money than what we're getting. And I said, I don't want to do that. Well, yes, you do. Well, yes, you do.
Well, and see, that's
wrong.
That's business law, even.
I know.
I mean, we're talking about everyday people and their own lives laws. I mean, you're having to deal with divorce attorneys and custody attorneys. And I mean,
that's why they make jokes.
Why do we have to even get married legally in the first place? Why can't we, you know?
See, I got another thing on that. Let's say that churches are where you get married.
Right. Well.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Listen to me. If you get married in the church, that's where you get married.
Right.
Everything else, and it would handle the gay marriage thing too and everything else is an agreement, a legal agreement to share your goods with your partner.
Why?
But then you would also have it understood on who got what when you leave.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why did,
well, anyway, you know.
Why do you even need to get married in the first place? Why does the government need to get involved with people getting married anyway?
Taxes, fees, money.
Exactly.
Money. Got to pay.
That's not a reason.
We're going to sell that marriage license.
That's not a good reason. Why?
Well, because they got to pay for the police department that's got to keep civil disobedience when you two are fighting.
Well, guess what? If they didn't have to stay stuck together legally, then maybe they would have walked away and then you wouldn't need the police in the first place because they're legally stuck together. They can't separate. If you let them separate when they want to, then problem solved.
Right. There's a lot of truth
we need
to that.
Get the government out of our business.
Okay. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show with Taylor Turcotte on WYAB. And we're back.
Hello.
On a Monday here on the Chip Matthews Show with Taylor Turcotte. And look, I want to remind everybody, out at Acme Pizza, we're currently doing crawfish right now on the weekends, but we're fixing to do it Monday and Tuesday because usually all the other places that do it, they just do it on the weekends. So we're going to do it like we had a good crowd last night for it.
Yeah.
And then Monday and Tuesday we'll do it. We're going to have crawfish all
Monday and
season.
Tuesday. Aren't you closed on Tuesday?
The crawfish stand will be open.
Oh, the crawfish stand will be open on.
Crawfish is outside.
God, there you go. You had to.
No crawfish in the building.
Okay, gotcha.
Crawfish outside.
I got you. He's got like a crawfish truck.
I have a law. Crawfish can't come inside.
Gotcha. No, it stinks.
Okay. And it messes up well, we could take some crawfish and put it on a pizza.
You could, but you need to, bring them in, shell them, get everything.
Yeah, you got to shell them first.
Get them out.
Yeah, you got to shell them
out.
If you don't shell them and put them on a pizza, they're
meant you can't. You've got to get the shells out and get the shells out of the restaurant quickly, or they stink fast.
Right. So dedicated garbage can, store it, everything. But we're gonna get it all set up. We're gonna be ready. We're gonna sit outside.
Nice.
You're gonna have a beer, have a daiquiri, drink, eat some crawfish.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it every week. Probably even put a little music out there.
Wow.
Ooh, yeah.
It's
cutting it up
after this 1st of March. Cold
and I'm
snap.
looking.
Hopefully, we'll be back on the road to spring.
And I'm looking for the name of the guy that does the cooking.
Oh goodness.
I mean, he's good.
Is he?
He's good.
What does he put in his crawfish?
It's a secret.
Well, no, I mean he's got corn. You can buy corn and
you
sausage.
Got corn, potatoes.
Do you put anything extra?
The big snow crabs.
Yeah.
To
put like mushrooms and that kind of stuff in it.
Shrooms are big. I didn't know shrooms were that big in crawfish.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, inside the restaurant, I'm frying shrooms as fast as I can, and between that and onions, I'm covered in flour from head to toe. People look at me and they say, "What in the heck is that? Is it a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?" But anyway,
nice crawfish.
Yep. And pizza and barbecue. What? We might as well open for breakfast. We can open for breakfast and do the show from there, and you can wait the tables.
No. No. I cannot multitask that way.
Okay, but anyway, I think about breakfast a lot ever since that senator said we're something with biscuit wheels and gravy. He said, we're running down this path with biscuit wheels and gravy.
I didn't hear that.
Okay. But anyway. And it wasn't John Kennedy that said that.
I heard something about biscuits, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it's biscuits, but that's what the biscuits. And then the guy over there says the gravy train.
Yeah.
Gravy train with biscuits or something like that. But anyway, I'll have to find it and play it tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you going to be here tomorrow? No. Yeah. Huh? You got a 10 o'clock.
Well, the city council meeting is tomorrow, so I was thinking about maybe going, but I can't leave you on your own either.
I can be left on my own.
We'll see.
For like 30 minutes or 20 minutes.
We'll see.
Maybe.
I
might be all wound up tomorrow and mad at people.
We'll see.
Okay, so let's recap the day. Legislators, we need a place to put people in jail.
We need a place to put violent people who need to be restrained.
And we need to build a prison that will hold them, not like the one you built up in Parchment 1,000,000 years ago, and not like that. Need a jail that holds people and they don't get out. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we need to revamp our election laws. The current ones on the book. Don't need new ones, just need the ones that we have. We need to give some authority so that when stuff that goes on, like going on up in Canton, which we'll talk about more tomorrow, won't happen because we'll have somebody who can come down and say, you can't do that.
Yeah, we
ain't got time to even get deep on it.
I found the Jackson election commissioners. We have a whole new set of election commissioners for the city.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's our recap. And then, of course, don't spend all the money. Give it back to the people. Okay. That's our show for today. She's Taylor Turcotte. I am Chip Matthews.
Y'all have a great Monday.
And we will see you back tomorrow morning, bright and early at 9. The Jameson Haygood Show is next.
Y'all have a good day.